Texana Museum, located in Edna, Texas, in Jackson County, is part of the Texas Historical Community.
Hi, I'm Marty Murray, the curator here at the Texana Museum. It's my privilege and honor to look over all the stuff that we've got going on and bring to the forefront the things that happened all those years ago. We've got things that predate what most people would consider history from these parts. We got things that go farther back to, 1500s. There's so much to look at here and so much to do. Let me give you a little bit of a tour. From the official Texas Historical Commission landmarks out front to the courthouse murals on the wall and all of the artifacts inside, the Texana Museum is rich with the history of not only this area, but of the state of Texas. The long, sprawling, comforting, shading live oak trees that are native to the area on the front lawn here at the Texana Museum are hearkening back to days when things were just simpler. The mural of the Presbyterian Church from 1859 to present, it sits just 7 miles east of here. The Jackson County Courthouse, as it existed in 1902 to 1950. The flag's out and the door is open. That can only mean one thing. The Texana Museum is open. Let's go check it out. One of the very first things you'll notice as you come in the doorway of the Texana Museum is the family who decided to name the town after their daughter named Edna. You'll also see immediately to your right something that predates all of that. You'll notice the 6 different flags represented that have flown over Texas over time. You'll see a dedicated display to a local hero in Little League, and also, he was a professional baseball player at one point. You'll even see an old mitt, ball, and home plate made out of metal. There's a tiny little portrait that I keep on the wall on purpose to make people think about the fact that one man's decision probably changed the course of so much of what we know today. That's the county of Jackson. A place where we have a really old jail right next door, a new museum coming there as well. And we're known as Flag City, USA. Yes, sir. If you're a veteran, you got a place of honor here in Edna, Texas. Named after the town of Texana, seen here as a ghost town in the early 1900s, the area has largely moved and centered itself around and adjacent to the capital city of Edna. And we've got artifacts that go back all the way, to the 1800s. Texana, all the other towns in the area. You can even find old plot maps, including a list of the dozens of names of the townships that used to be in this part of the state. Want to learn more about Mr. Sutherland and all the roots that family has in the area? See an old ghost town photo in its earliest condition? Find some old stones from the township that used to be. Learn about some of the oldest homes in the area, or even learn about the Brackenridge family and the connections they have to San Antonio. You can explore items that were brought back from fields of war, trophies of hand-to-hand combat, things that were fought and died for. The dolls and toys of antiquity, both in reality and replica, as well as a good look at what it would be like to go in the general store in the late 1800s, early 1900s. We're talking 120 years ago, folks. What are some of the things that your great-great-grandparents used to do for entertainment? We've got some of those items on display as well. How did they listen to music back in the day? And what in the world is this device? Have you ever seen a 350-year-old violin in person? What was it like before they had telephones? Here's articles telling all about how 1 million miles of telephone wire is coming to town. Need an old typewriter? Well, we got an example of one, so you know what to look for. What was it like out on the cattle trail? We got some photos, yeah. We got some relics, of course. We've also got pieces of an old chuck box. If you were to assemble this, put it all together and go right on the trail and have a good old time. Dinner's ready. Are you aware that the greater Texana area in Jackson County has everything from rice farms to the beginnings of cattle trails that used to take things, well, cows, all the way up clear to Wyoming? How many different types of barbed wire were there in Texas? Would you like to see a piano built in 1860 in Boston and believed to be the very first one that was brought to this area? Well, we have that here. Remember Mr. Breckenridge we were talking about? He's on display as well. Pastor and Mrs. Rogers were some of the first Christian pastors in the county of Jackson. One of the churches, Cornerstone, is on display. Have you ever wondered all the different brands of brick that they used back in the day? We've got some examples of that. Or what about a gun and all of its pieces? What would that look like? Yes, one of the portions of history in Texas is all the ways it connected to the Civil War and the Confederate South. Of course, you know about the Alamo, Gonzales, Goliad, all the things of the Texas Revolution. Firearms were a big part of that. Would you ever in a million years think a town as small as Edna, Texas would have a school that big over 100 years ago, much less another one? Those are two different schools. Here's some of the kids that might have gone there. Wonder what they look like today. Have you ever heard of the author I.T. Taylor? He's famously the author of The Cavalcade of Jackson County. If you were going to describe the writings of the author I.T. Taylor, well, the word prolific might come to mind. We've got a copy of every volume he ever wrote. Maybe you'd like to research family history or how the land was granted. We've got some of the oldest records of that. In fact, probably the only old records of that here in the Shelby Research Library. This is a place where you can come and research not only family history, gravesite history, local things all the way back to, well, or as simple as yearbooks from school. But you can pretty much find anything you want to know about the area and Texas history in general right here at the library. Come on down, sit a spell, dig up some stuff, get a good idea, and prove it too. There's a key on the wall next to a giant mural that when you look at it closely, you begin to get a bigger picture of all the different things that Edna has had to offer throughout the years. All the battles of Texas from 1775 all the way to 1880, including, but not limited to, the Texas Revolution, they're all on the wall for you to check out. You think that's a long time ago? This was found not too many miles south in Port Alto, Texas. Yeah, that's right. It dates to as many as 200,000 years ago, according to scientists. It's a mastodon's jawbone. And that would be a big toothache. How long do you think it took the wood in that case to become petrified? Or for someone to discover that those geodes existed. And there's a giant hatchet head from the native Karanko Indians. High-tech hospital equipment. Well, there's an old wheelchair. That makes sense. But what's this one? Well, I'll tell you, it was used in the Civil War as a gurney to help out guys who had injuries. You don't want to know the details of that. It's that time of year in the fall when all the monarch butterflies start coming down. Come check out our display. And probably the prize of the museum, we are stop number 3 of 7 around the state, the La Salle Odyssey. In the early 1600s, exploration around the world started to pick up. By the late 1600s, about 1685, La Salle said, I'm going to claim everything to the west of the Mississippi for France. Well, he set out to do that, and he ran into some trouble. We've got it all documented here, including the people he came in contact with when he showed up, and the ones who came by later to see where had old boy gone. You can see a lot more about that here. There are things that were found in a shipwreck in Matagorda Bay We've got them in the cases here. They've been shipwrecked since February 13th of 1685. We've got it right here. This is not just on a video. It's not just talking about somewhere else in a different museum. They're actually here right now, and you can see them. All we ask is that you give a donation when you come in the door, put your information on the guest book, take a look around, and then share your experience with somebody else. We'd love to see you down here at the Texana Museum. There's so much to do and explore. I know this has been just a couple minutes of video, but we really encourage you to come down and spend as much time as you like. I don't know all the answers, but I'll tell you what, I'll look them up with you, and we'll get a little bit better of understanding of just how much history is under the dirt right where we're standing. Hope to see y'all. We're here every Thursday and Friday from 8 a.m. to noon, and then 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we're here every first and third Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or a little bit later if there's a crowd. I'll be obliging of the folks that want to take a little bit more time and look. We also have other special events. You can find this and many other videos. Go to youtube.com/@Texana Museum, all one word, Texana Museum. I'll put it on the screen here. And we hope to see y'all. All right, come check out our brand of Texas history. Texana Museum is open each week, Thursday and Fridays from 8 to 5.
First and third Saturdays